As time marches ever onward, technology improves and safety along with it. We as a species learn, we adapt and improve, we seek out flaws in the endless quest for the ever so elusive perfection. It's equatable to the grand capitalist scheme. Every quarter, the company must see higher profits than last time. The next video you make is always your best yet. And every model year is an advancement on the last. Usually. This limitless strive to be better often becomes pampered.
Man's reach exceeds his imagination.
In the automotive world, we've watched as airbags were not just introduced, standardized, improved, but crammed in every possible place we can fit them. They're statistically proven to be safer. A crash with airbags will pretty consistently leave you less injured or dead than a crash without them. But some take a step back and declare, if we weren't surrounded by all these airbags bloating up the side pillars, drivers might take extra precautions to not crash their vehicle while having a better field of view. This can be applied to anything. Without traction control, a driver might be more cautious in harsh conditions and understand to a better degree the limits of their vehicle and their driving skill. Someone with traction control who allows it to save them in every situation suddenly loses a wheel speed sensor and the next snowy takeoff results in a spin-out. That's the idea here. We risk becoming so adversely reliant on these modern safety systems that, without them, what can a driver even say for themselves? When a feature becomes so commonplace and ubiquitous, like, say, even the automobile itself, what can we even do without them? The vast majority of Americans need a car to get to work, so they can earn money to pay for that car, that most people don't even want to take care of. These consumers, or programs, have no interest in learning the technical intricacies of anti-lock brakes. On a surface level, the car just magically knows what to do when sliding out of control, so why should they bother learning how to save it themselves? Because anything that can go wrong will. We all know, just as well as the next guy, they don't make them like they used to. Cars nowadays are not designed to last. They're designed to last for the warranty period, because only in the United States is it a negative thing to keep something old and reliable. Everyone's got to outbid their neighbor, have the newest luxury trend, and suppress at a deep level how much debt they owe multi-billion-dollar corporations. I really wish we could move on from that. In some newer vehicles, when you put the transmission in park, it automatically engages the parking brake. Honestly, sounds like a great idea. It'll always be on, you'll never have to second-guess yourself or even think about it. But therein lies the problem. If you never think about the parking brake, what happens when the electronic actuator fails? I dare say electronic actuators are less reliable than a steel-braided cable. The silver lining of the mechanical parking brake is that it has to be manually engaged. You, as the driver, have to make a conscious effort to remember to engage it, because you as the driver know that you will suffer the consequences if you don't. The automatic parking brake removes this responsibility, this understanding, this extra level of awareness. You cannot build habits by not performing things habitually. So there I was, parked on a driveway, ever so slightly sloped downhill. I'm talking like less than a 1-degree incline, and we were screwing around with the exhaust on my Jeep, doing stupid things and having fun. Now, being a manual, there is no park, so when I park the vehicle, I always make a conscious effort to select first gear. I do this because my parking brake doesn't work, else I'd engage that too, but the compression of the engine is always enough to hold it on very averagely flat ground. So because I was revving the engine to test out this new exhaust, I had the transmission in neutral just holding the brake. When we were done with this nonsense, I shut it off, let go of the brake, and the Jeep didn't move, so I, thinking I was on flat ground anyway, didn't remember to put it in gear. And it was fine for like 10 minutes.
I bet it shattered the back window. No, it didn't. Okay. It sounded like it did.
I guess the slightest gust of wind came by and nudged it just enough to roll down this 1-degree incline and crash into Calvin's indestructible winch bumper. It busted the taillight, dented the liftgate, and mangled up the latch mechanism inside, so now it doesn't open.
Dude, it sounded like the window broke.
We could go ask really nicely if the neighbor across the street will give us his taillight.
Yeah.
The bulbs look okay.
Yeah.
So you just need the housing.
Well, there's a lesson in parking brakes, huh?
That's a lot of damage.
In a moment like this, I might be regretful I didn't have an automatically engaging parking brake. Except no, because I wouldn't have remembered it either way. And because the parking brake doesn't work to begin with, the part where it automatically engages doesn't help at all. This accident was 100% my fault. I was the last one in the vehicle, and I forgot to leave it in gear. Well, 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 if it isn't the consequences of my own actions.
I didn't do anything to this. Oh, I bet it's stuck. It's not locked.
The difference with the automatic parking brake is I can only blame the car, this inanimate corporate machine fresh out of the warranty period. But the manual parking brake, I can only blame myself. But this, I say, is a necessary failure we need as humans. Failure sucks. It's insulting, embarrassing. It fills you with guilt and regret. But without failure, there would not be success. Without insult, there are no compliments. Without embarrassment, there is no pride. Without guilt and regret, there is no perseverance or aspiration. We need to fail, because that's how we learn. It's hard. You've been there. You know what it's like to get a bad grade in a class you need to pass, to get fired from a job, to crash your car like a dumbass. But without these experiences, these building blocks, we lose who we are. Another brick in the wall, a nameless cog in the machine, directionless and siphoned of individuality. You no longer drive cars. They drive you. They keep you in your lane, announce when you need an oil change, and to keep your hands on the steering wheel. They navigate for you. They follow the speed of traffic for you. They shift for you. Take away all of these things, and you're dead lost. It's not that any higher power or some sort of a disaster will take these things away. It's that they can. This, I say, is the importance of self-reliance. It's the little things that define a greater substance and make you who you are. What is Earth without humanity? What is your car without a parking brake?